clean. And when you compare that term at the time and you put it in a context, this term is basically racist term, because they meant that they are going to be fundamentalist Muslim, Indian Muslim, going to be separated from the majority unclean Indian. So even the term from the start, basically when they started this term is basically racist. And that's what they meant. And by 1940s, there was no even notion of creation of Pakistan. So after the Second World War, British Empire got so weak, okay, economically basically bankrupt, okay, politically almost bankrupt. It was the time they really couldn't control the region. And they had to look for some problem, in India, because they couldn't let India to become independent unless they supported their allies. Their allies in India, they were who? They were Muslims. This fundamentalist Muslim, under umbrella of what is called All Indian Muslims. And All Indian Muslims, they were supported by British Empire financially, okay, in terms of organization and everything. So they wanted to support them. So they created this fundamentalist, okay, artificial, arbitrary country, okay. So it's not surprising from the day one they had problem. Now guess what? How many people died even in just few months of creation of Pakistan, or creation of when they created Pakistan? I've got some figures here to suggest that when you look at is the question, 12 million people displaced in few months. More than 1 million people were killed, civilian, more than 1 million, just in few months. And who killed them? Who created this one? This fundamentalist mindset. Fundamentally mindset that you're going to carve one part and you create a nation of Islam, which has no meaning, is just no historical, okay, base. Just in one, okay, few months, 12 million people, okay, being displaced, more than 1 million people being civilian, being killed. Because of what? Because of this fundamentalist mindset. Okay? Now, let's go back. Baluchistan was nothing to do with Pakistan. Baluchistan, as soon as the Indian went, okay, left, Baluchistan became independent. Baluchistan basically became independent on 11th August 1947. And the next day, it was announced in New York Times, on the 12th of August, okay, 1947. And it was recognized by newly created state of Pakistan. So they announced it as well, okay, Baluchistan is independent and so forth. Now, just give you another fact. The guy who founded Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the servant of the state of Baluchistan from 1936 to 1947. He was basically servant. He was paid guy to do what? His irony, to defend the rights of Baluchistan to legally become independent. Because Baluch, they didn't have lawyers at the time. So they went and found one Indian guy, and they paid him. He said, look, you're going to defend our rights, to become independent. So he was, to 1947, after Pakistan was created, he believed that, Baluchistan is going to be, he's got right, his natural right to become independent. So even the founder of the, Pakistan was working for Baluchistan. And that was, again, a problem for Baluchistan. Because Baluchistan, when you've got a guy relatively more educated than the most Baluch, okay, and suddenly you create a country for that, okay, you just, from out of blue, somebody create a country for you and they make you the president. So he very well realized that, okay, Baluchistan is one of the richest region, it's one of the richest part part of that region, is in terms of the minerals, in terms of the resources. But no, because of Iran and Pakistan, we are the poorest in terms of education, in terms of health, you just name it. We are the richest if you compare with any standard, any international standard, if you compare it. We are the richest in terms of the economically. But no, because of them, we are the poorest. So, but then, 8 months after Balochistan became independent, Pakistani establishment, which was exactly the same establishment that the British Empire had. Military, administration, courts, you name it. All the corrupt system, they used it for centuries to control the Indian. It was inherited by Pakistani system. It was the same system. So there was no way that system, okay, political system, okay, after that will bring democracy for you. A political system which is based on fundamentalism. The constitution of Pakistan is Islamic constitution. How can you have constitution based on religion, for goodness sake, and you become secular? You can't become secular if your constitution based on certain sect of Islam. Remember, it's not just all the Islam. There are hundreds of sects of any religion. It's one sect of the Islam. So sooner or later you're going to persecute other people because they're different. Coming back to the point, then in 1948, after 8 months, Pakistan attacked Balochistan and invaded Balochistan. Since 1948, the first, as soon as the Pakistani invaded Balochistan, Baloch really they started to struggle. So we had a major military operation in 1948. We had major military operation by Pakistani in 1950s, 1956, major military operation in 1962, 68, and massive military operation by both Iran, the Shah's government, and Bhutto's government, okay, Pakistani government in Balochistan, is 73 to 77. And now is the recent one. The recent one, we can see it from year 2000 up to now. Almost every day we get people, being killed and mutilated, and they send them every day, almost every day. And the policy is what? Anybody who can think, you eliminate them, you kill them. It was exactly the same sort of policy that Pakistan did in Bangladesh. Now, just give you some facts about Bangladesh. Bangladesh was 54 to 55% of East Bengal. They were the main contributor of creation of Pakistan. And they were like 54, 55% of total population. The language, very historical language, very old language, ancient language. Then what they said, Pakistanis, then they realized that in order to create one sort of Frankenstein, really fundamentalist state, what you do, then you import some other different language, different culture. So less than 10% of the total population of Pakistan, East and West Pakistan, or East Bengal, and they were like, they spoke Urdu, which is the national language of Pakistan. No, less than 10%, by the way. And all the different nations, okay, Bengalis, they had the national language, which is Bengali language, ancient, very, very developed language. Okay, Sindhis, well, Sindhi, they've been these guys there, these people, for more than 9,000 years, and is one of the region. You've got the same name that you had like 8,000 years ago. Very highly developed, highly secular, highly humane people. So they have their language, they have got their culture. You've got the Pashtun, which is, again, this Pashtun, when taken from the Pashtun by British in 1893, then given to India. Now suddenly it became part of Pakistan, and that's why you've got all the problems between Pakistan and Afghanistan, because Afghanistan never recognized Pakistan as a state, because they've taken most of the chunk of the area. They are not Pakistani, they're Pashtun. Okay. So, and then you've got Punjabis, which is the main establishment. Those, there were people that really wanted Pakistan, and they got it. More than 90% of Pakistani military are Punjabis. More than 90% of Pakistani establishment is administration, this government, anything is Punjabis. It doesn't mean that they're not going to kill, the poor Punjabis. Of course, Punjabis are going to persecute it. If you think, okay, for human rights, then you are not going to have any, you're going to be in trouble as well in the same way. So what they did when they went then, when Bengali says, look, we are like 54 or 55% of population, we don't want to speak Urdu, or we want to speak Urdu, but we want another language, official language to be Bengalis. They said, no, these are criminals, they're traitors. So 1971, again, Bengalis won the election. Majority of people, like 54, 55% of the votes for general election in 1971 election in Pakistan was Bengali won it. Did they allow them? No. So what happened? Within 8 months, I can read some sort of figures for you to realize that, okay, how many people they really killed. If you just bear with me, okay, just in few months. This data are taken from the Bengali media and Bengali Inquiry Committee, which was set after the Bangladesh became independent. In the space of 267 days, the Pakistani state, the state machine, slaughtered about 150,000 people in Khulna, well, is my maybe pronunciation, Khulna, yes? Khulna. 100,000 people in Dhaka, 100,000 people, okay, in Chittagong, 95,000 people in Kumila, and 75,000 in Jessore. Says the total death in all the district, they estimate to be 1,247,000 people death in just that number of that short space of time. Then what they did, these Islamic countries, fundamentally countries, what they did, it was one of the area that women had suffered to such an extent that is somewhere that is unprecedented. According to the various women researchers, like Cezanne, which have taken the really conservative estimate, and she was one of the researchers. Susan Brown Miller, she estimated that something like 200,000 to 400,000 of these people, they've been raped.